Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they take on the new man, Nick Foles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Gardner and Charles Davis.
Much appreciated, Coach. Smack dab in the middle of I-295 that encircles the city of Jacksonville in northeast Florida. There's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gardner and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The Jaguars have Josh Lambo out there to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. This is taken at the 3. Gets past one man. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Wilson going to throw again. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle. 44 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
Let's get a little bit bigger light shined right here, because we're talking about 2 guys. Cornerbacks Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye. Maybe the best tandem in the NFL. Both physically able to dominate receivers. They're textbook examples of shutdown corners. Collectively, they allowed only 2 touchdowns the entire 2018 season.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Wilson. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll get 5 on the dump off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Nick Foles, the man that the Jags are hoping can get them over the hump in 2019. Super Bowl MVP a couple of seasons ago. Made 7 starts if you include the playoffs for the Eagles last year, winning 5 of them. Foles. And this is incomplete. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not, and he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Ezekiel Ansah out of BYU. We call him Ziggy, and he knows where the quarterback is on every play.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Here's Foles. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Foles. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll set up a throw. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he coughed it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Fighting down past the 45. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Quentin Jefferson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
You know, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable.
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. Now Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 23-yard run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did. And
what did his offensive – I mean, remember we talked with the offensive line? And one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now it's Lockett. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side. I missed that. Totally missed it.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Check. I'm coming after you.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll have a first down past the 40. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26.
Makes the score Seahawks 26.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And finding Keelan Cole. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And the ball is knocked out. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 36 yards on the play.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a first down on a gain of 10. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it'll bring up third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
But maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken about the 12. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken about the 12. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
I got you.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side to his tight end, Swain. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still,
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up.
Get touchdown, Jaguars! Marquise Lee, 59 yards. And the Jaguars able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Throwing again on second down. Wilson, Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs.
And the pressure gets to him again. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius, his second sack of the night.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Fournette on the counter. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a second down. On second down, here's Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them.
And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. Being chased at Wilson. Hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Jags grab it. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Lambo to add on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 15. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on 1st down, Wilson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Play action. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 45 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
No, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Miles Jack with a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Forced out to his, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken near the 13. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. To throw again on second down. Foles throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Returnable for Lockett. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson. Escapes the sack, and he's going to go down again. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Here's Foles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Foles. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free, creating something good for your team.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gardner.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That second down play nets a -4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Marcel Darius in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And now out come the Jags. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Foles. That's complete right around the 8. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars get a score closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now Doug Marrone not even hesitating. They're going to go for 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just about on his own goal line. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll get 34 yards there.
Let's go! Let's go!
Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game, and if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. The kick by Lambeau is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And the yardage just continues to pile up. We're still in the third quarter. He's had a heck of a game. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Ramsey with a sack on the corner blitz. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're just...
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Calais Campbell bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Calais Campbell make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your play? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take...
And a big loss here as he's taken down with a sack at Ziggy Ansah.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return.
Let's go.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And I'm just wondering, how many yards is he going to throw for? We're only in the third quarter. He's just thrown for a ton.
You have your abacus here?
My what?
Your abacus?
I thought you said like Atticus Finch.
No, we're not getting that deep, but counting this up, we might need a few extra people in here because the yardage he's piling up, the way that he's playing, it's a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to see what he does next.
We'll see what he does here on this drive.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right, converted only 1 time. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays.
Blue hit. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Avery Jones able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. And the pressure gets to him again. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Eluding the pressure right, and he'll get it down here to the 43. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down and close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
Check, walk 54, walk 54.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50, the 40, and all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big run by the big man Fournette, 82 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He hits blue, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Alfred Blue. His second touchdown of the night, and the Jaguars are back within a score.
That is today's NFL, isn't it? If you're going to be a running back in this league, you've got to be complete to stay on the field, at least for those 3 downs we talk about. Got to be able to catch it, which he's doing quite well in this one. 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, a little unconventional. He hasn't been able to cross the goal line as a runner, but as you say, twice as a receiver. Lambo on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards there and a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The 3rd down run gets them nothing. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Mike 54. Here we go, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is caught inside the 15. That's good for 28 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardners get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a tough one there defensively because look at the stops they got on 1st and 2nd down, and it's 1st and 2nd and goal. And then on 3rd down, they cover the receivers, but they leave an alley open for him to find, and he does. That is frustrating. You do almost everything right, and he still ends up in the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. And up 2 scores late. No clue why you do this here, but they're going to go for the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles. Marquise Lee, the intended target. But now it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And out now come the Seahawks. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's got Vanette. A very solid gain of 27. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Wilson now throwing again. And the tight end Dixon left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Check flag 47. And here we go. Watch the go right there. Watch the go.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. It's caught right side, Dixon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. To throw again is Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This to make it a 3-score game late. Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The screen does get them 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, which you're counting on.
Then how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Focus, defense, focus.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 32 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to clear you up.
Here's a give to Fournette. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, pulled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw here. Incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incomplete. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Cassius Marsh drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And the Seahawks looks like they've recovered. They have. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. They'll run the screen with Carson. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
They'll run on second down with Blue. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Here's Foles. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Foles. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Jacksonville, good night, everybody.